Boy, talk about a huge blow up right in your face. The Democrats who've been crying and whining, release the Epstein files, release the Epstein files. What are you so afraid of? Well, guess what? President Trump just made this announcement late last night, Sunday evening. Check it out. Trump said in a post last night, as I said on Friday night aboard Air Force One to the fake news media, House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files because we have nothing to hide and it's time to move on from this Democrat hoax perpetrated by the radical left lunatics in order to deflect from the great success of the Republican Party, including our recent victory on the Democrat shutdown. Not an untrue word was spoken there. The Department of Justice, he continues, has already turned over tens of thousands of pages to the public on Epstein, are looking at various Democrat operatives, Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, Larry Summers, etc., and their relationship to Epstein, and the House Oversight Committee can have whatever they are legally entitled to. I don't care. All I do care about is that Republicans get back on point, which is the economy, affordability, where we are winning big, our victory on reducing inflation from the highest level in the history to practically nothing, bringing down prices for the American people, delivering historic tax cuts, gaining trillions of dollars of investment into America, the rebuilding of our military, securing our border, deporting criminal illegal aliens, ending men and women's sports, stopping transgender for everyone, and so much more. You hear how Trump just listed off every single policy, initiative, platform that he discussed during his run in the election era in 2024, and he's delivered on every one of those promises. What do the Democrats offer? No solutions, no strategy, no vision, no nothing, just consumption from head to toe of hatred for one man, and they cry, Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Well, guess what? You got what you wanted. And I'm going to talk about why I think this is like 4D chess on Trump's part in just a second. He continues, nobody cared about Jeffrey Epstein when he was alive. And if the Democrats had anything, they would have released it before our landslide election victory. Some, quote, members, end quote, of the Republican Party are being used, and we can't let that happen. Let's start talking about the Republican Party's record-setting achievements and not fall into the Epstein trap, which is actually a curse on the Democrats, not us. Make America great again. This is actually like, again, the hat is correct. Trump was right about everything. Every single hoax and conspiracy theory, you know, Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana, who I know you and I love, said it best. He says, you know, we're going to need to come up with new hoaxes. We're going to need to come up with new conspiracy theories because all the old ones are turning out to be true. Because Stacey Plaskett, a Democrat rep, was actually colluding with Epstein, and the Democrats are crickets on this. Where's Representative Garcia? Where's Murphy? Where's Schumer? Oh, wait, I got a great clip from Schumer. Watch this clip as Schumer embarrasses himself in front of the whole country when he is pressed. Same thing that we talked about when this story first broke. I went live and talked about it. They've been sitting on this for 4 years, if not longer. Why all of a sudden do they care about Epstein? Because they have nothing. This is a party that this isn't even exaggeration or hyperbole. They literally have zero goose egg, not a whole lot of see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, squaw to the douche. Check out this question to Schumer.
Okay.
Senator, on that note, just I guess a question that's out there. Why wouldn't they have been released the last 4 years when President Biden was in office?
Well, that's the question every American is asking. Not every American, but so many Americans are asking. What the hell is he hiding? Why doesn't he want them released? When you don't want something like this released, when even a whole lot of Republicans are calling for the release, his own party members, people ask the question, what's he hiding? It's got to be answered by releasing the files. Okay?
What a sniveling, lying, degenerate snake, Schumer. Boy, if there's anybody who is the poster child for DC, deep state Washington swamp vermin, it is Chuck Schumer. You see how he answered that? He thinks we're all stupid. He thinks you're stupid. He thinks I'm stupid. He thinks all Americans are stupid. And he just somehow quietly, artistically, and irreverently deflected his way out of that. And the truth is, you sat on it. And you would have used it. You would have used it time and time again. But we know there's nothing there. But we do know something that is in there. Check this out. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I think Trump was playing 4D chess. Man, he is such a craftsman, such a tactician, such an innovative art of deal, master class innovator and maneuverer, if that's a word. I just invented it. A newly revealed email shows, and this is just one. Oh, this has backfired so beautifully on the Democrats. A newly revealed email shows Democrat funding group Dynamic SRG contacting Jeffrey Epstein in 2013 to promote then freshman Congressman Hakeem Nobody's Dream Jeffries, otherwise known as Dollar Store Obama or Timu Obama, more aptly. It shows that Epstein called Hakeem Jeffries, quote, Brooklyn's Barack, end quote. Boy, did that turn out to be a freaking dud. While urging Epstein to support a major Democratic fundraising push. But wait, there's more. So we talked about this in previous videos, but there's even new damning evidence that just broke with the release of new Epstein emails and documents. Stacey Plaskett took $30,000 from Jeffrey Epstein after he was convicted, was still having an inappropriate conversation with him all the way in 2019, where Epstein was texting her real-time suggestions on what to ask next and telling her how to, quote, hurt him, end quote, and where to, quote, press harder, end quote. Then, when his victims tried to depose her during civil litigation, she tried to have them sanctioned, my fellow Americans, while blocking all discovery. And what do the loudmouth, outraged, redonkulous Democrats have to say about this? Cue the crickets. Cricket, 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 cricket. Nothing. Nada. Zero. Check this out. I want you to watch this amazing video that shows Representative Plaskett receiving text instructions from Epstein during Michael Cohen's 2019 Trump testimony. This is an amazing video by Amuse on X. Watch this. This is phenomenal as it cuts back and forth between the actual text messages, and notice Stacey Plaskett's face. This is concrete proof and evidence as revealed in the documents and more. And I think this just beautifully wraps it up and is the icing on the cake. Watch.
Barack Obama was president of the United States. And while we were once driving through a struggling neighborhood in Chicago, he commented that only black people could live that way. Attorney-client privilege, yes, I will turn it over.
You, as my friend Mr. Meadows pointed out, misled this committee even today in a written submission that contradicted your testimony. You have suggested you are going to review that. Are you going to review it in our next break to correct the record, yes or no?
Yes.
Question, you helped out the president's campaign or were involved in the campaign as a representative, as a spokesman, even in your words today. It was your idea for the campaign dating back to 2011. Is that accurate, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Weisenberg and other individuals, Ms. Rona. Who are those individuals? Are they with the Trump organization?
They
and
are.
Are there other people that we should be meeting with?
So Alan Weisselberg is the chief financial officer.
You got to quickly give us as many names as you can so we can get to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Ms. Rona, what is Ms. Rona's position?
Rona Graff is Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, her office is directly next to his, and she's involved in a lot that went on.
So this means, now that this has all come out about Representative Plaskett, this means there's going to be a ton of reporters, right? From CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC. They're all going to be hounding her in the halls of Congress. They're all going to be plastering this all over the news. You've seen it, right? On CNN, ABC, all the woke media apparatus. You've seen it, correct? It's going to happen, right? Highly unlikely. I'm joking, obviously. It's not going to happen. You're not going to see this anywhere. Why? Well, you know and I know, because it doesn't fit the narrative. This is who they are. The woke media apparatus, President Trump, who's literally healing our country, who's literally reorienting us on the global stage, who's fixing everything that these Democrats and hypocrites have done 12 of the last 16 years to literally decay our beautiful republic, has gotten a 94+% rate of negative publicity on these networks. You think they've talked about one accomplishment? No, there isn't a public figure in the history of mankind who's been attacked with such vehemence, force, and consistency like President Trump. And it is a shame. They made all this fuss about Trump, Epstein, Trump. He's in this. They've called him the worst names and aspersions and pejoratives you could ever hurl on any one individual. But when it comes to them, crickets. So why, Democrats? I have some questions here, and maybe you can answer if you're watching this. Why aren't the Democrats talking about the fact that Stacey Plaskett solicited and was given $30,000 from Epstein for the DCCC after he was already a convicted sex offender? Or the fact that Plaskett herself accepted maxed out donations from Epstein for her own campaign, get this. Or the fact that the wife of the former Democrat governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands told Epstein, quote, "We would have a friend in Stacey," end quote, if he made said donations. Unbelievable. But I got more. This gets good. Or the fact that Plaskett was literally texting Epstein during a committee hearing. Why aren't Democrats talking about the fact that former President Bill Clinton traveled on Epstein's aircraft 26 times? Not once, not 5, not 10, not even 15, 26 times. What's going on there, Bill? What's happening there, Democrats? Or the fact that one of Epstein's victims wrote that she saw Clinton on Epstein's island with 2 young women. Or the fact that Clinton's visit to the island was corroborated by one of his former top aides. Hey, Democrats, why aren't you talking about the, quote, long relationship and storied friendship that Larry Summers, ex-Harvard president, Clinton Treasury Secretary, and prominent Democrat, had with Epstein, who described herself as Summers' wingman? Crickets? More crickets? Okay. Why aren't Democrats talking about the fact that Democrat so-called journalist Katie Couric had dinner at Epstein's residence after he was already a convicted sex offender who had served jail time? Why aren't Democrats talking about the fact that Reid Hoffman, billionaire Democrat megadonor, visited Epstein's island, attended a dinner with him, and even planned to stay at his New York mansion? Where's the outrage? Why aren't Democrats talking about the fact that the Democrat National Committee refused to return $32,000 in donations from Epstein? Where is the Democrat transparency when it comes to Epstein? Trump says, by the way, I have to be very, very clear here. This is not the first time that Trump has said this. Trump has got a country to run. He's got a country to fix, and he's doing a phenomenal job. He doesn't have time to mess around with this garbage. And again, he's not calling it a hoax what happened to the victims. He's calling it a hoax what the Democrat hypocrisy elucidates, what it says about them and what they're trying to pin on him, which all the evidence now points. Epstein hated him. He was the one who actually initiated the investigation, if you saw my last video about this. And he was the one who kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago 25 years ago because he knew there's something wrong with this guy. Meanwhile, everything I just mentioned gets zero coverage. You're only going to hear about this here. I need you to make this video go viral. The mission of our channel is to make common sense go viral. We need to hold the Democrats, hold the woke media apparatus, and all of the swamp vermin accountable. Tap that thumbs up. Share this. Watch this video all the way through. Share it with everybody you know. Even if you're watching on your TV, just tap that thumbs up. It helps us out immeasurably. Leave a comment. Let me know where you're joining me from. I love hearing from you guys. What city, state, country. Let me know what you're doing. Are you having coffee? Are you having dinner? Are you watching it on TV? Let me know. I love hearing from you guys. Please let me know in the comments down below. And also just let me know what you think of all this stuff. I've said this a million times. I'm happy to be wrong about this. I've done my due diligence. I've done my qualitative and quantitative research. And this is what I've come up with. If you have something different to offer, let me know in the comments down below. Let the world see. Let the market decide. That's the beautiful thing about capitalism, free market, free enterprise, the greatest country on planet Earth, the United States of America. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, May God bless you, and may God bless the U.S. and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.